if this group of random schmucks can make Star Wars, that gives a new hope for Drew and I.
That's true. Apparently, we need a slippy slide.
Oh gosh. Yeah, we gotta buy a slip and slide. That's. Oh, we gotta start doing hot tub streams.
Apparently.
Hey everyone, welcome back to another Wizard episode of Empire Radio. I'm Jeremiah.
I'm Drew.
And we are back with another kind of behind the scenes thing, but not really.
Kind of?
It's more of like the history of how Star Wars came to be, like the production aspect of it.
Yeah. I don't want to jump to the ending, but they leave you on a cliffhanger.
Well,
so weird.
Yeah, but they released it all at one time, so
they
like,
did. That's true.
doesn't
But
really
it
matter.
it was a weird editing.
It was funny. It had a documentary had a cliffhanger.
Yeah, exactly. It kind of threw me off because I was like watching him like, wait, why is there a cliffhanger? Oh my gosh, I can't wait to watch the next episode of Behind the Scenes.
So on Disney Plus, they have a 6-part docu-series called Light and Magic, and it's just basically the production ILM, which is the biggest special effects studio basically in the world. Like if you've watched a TV show or movie, you've seen ILM's work, especially with Star Wars, because they're kind of like one of the main things that they did early on. So, but it's kind of like how Star Wars came to be, and I think then some of the one or two of the later episodes will discuss like the digital age of ILM, like creating the prequels and stuff like that. But this one tonight is called Gang of Outsiders, and it's basically how the original production team came together and had to do this task of making the first ever Star Wars movie. So it's definitely a lot of people that came together, and we'll get into more details about all that. But I really liked kind of like the opening, like montage type thing. I think it was George Lucas was saying that movies are special effects, like, because the whole point of a movie or show is to produce something that isn't real or escape or whatever. So it's like if you're making a movie or making a TV show, it is special effects one way or another. So I thought that was cool. And then
I've never really thought of it like that.
Yeah, it's cool.
Like,
and
it was
I also really like in that same opening blurb, they're like, every time, studio teams or whatever can make new special effects to like convince people that what's on screen is real, the audience gets used to it and they can start picking out the flaws, and so then that has to push them to innovate and make newer things and better things. So that's pretty cool about how special effects work, is they keep getting better and better because we, the audience, keep getting smarter and smarter, maybe.
It makes sense though, because have you ever watched a movie the first time and been amazed, and then you go back and rewatch it and it does not hold up at all?
I think that might be one of my reasons why I don't like the Lord of the Rings trilogy, like the original one, because like this is early 2000 special effects, and I didn't see it till like 15 years after it came out.
Oh.
And I was like, I guess. And like, sure, Gollum holds up even today, but I was like, I guess it's okay. But when people saw it in early 2000s, it was the most innovative, best special effects ever made, and it won all these Oscars and all that stuff. And then that's kind of like seared in people's minds as why it's so great. And I'm kind of like, it's all right. So
that's true. When Gollum first came out, it was like a big deal
Yeah.
It still holds up in my
Yeah.
mind,
Like what
but,
they were
like,
able to do
yeah, I
back then, because
understand.
that is ILM too, I think, I believe.
I
I'm not sure.
Chat, help us out.
Chat, did
Think
ILM work on the
I mean,
original Lord of the
Andy
Rings?
Serkis pretty much did I think he designed a lot of that stuff.
Yeah, he was part of the innovation of mocap, because that was like one of the first like huge like mocap endeavors. But
Yeah,
this is Star Wars, so let's talk about Star Wars.
true.
So I didn't realize that Star Wars, like the original movie, wasn't okay. It was 20th Century Fox was funding and doing this,
Mhm.
but I didn't realize that they didn't really have like a set studio to like do all this stuff, because we learned in this documentary that George just kind of got a random team together. It was a guy named um, John Dykstra, I believe. He was kind of like the lead person in all this production of the visual effects, and he had to go out and make a team here in the United States while George is in London filming with all the actors.
Yep.
And so I thought it was really cool how it was like, I know this guy, he can do this, and then the next guy's like, well, I know these guys over here that can do this, this, and this, and it's kind of like a friend of a friend of a friend knows how to do this, and
It
they
was
got
all
all,
about people you knew, essentially.
yeah, and so then that's how this original team to make Star Wars, all the visual effects came together. It was just random people that knew how to do little things here and there, and they kind of had to make everything up as they went, which I thought was pretty cool. But we learned that George works very fast, and so they didn't really have time to really like put time and effort into. Well, they did put a lot of effort, but they had to wing it basically because
They
of
were
how fast
definitely
George.
not on schedule,
Yeah, and we'll find out
to
at
say
the
the
end that
least.
they were really
'Cause
behind.
yeah.
But
But I think something that was really cool is that they were talking about how they had to be innovated and not just creating the models and stuff like that, but like even making the cameras and the camera equipment. Like everything that they did was so different and so like they just had to make it. And so like some of the guys are like, wait, what? We have to make this equipment? Like we actually have to like build it, and so it was really cool to see that like everything like that's how ILM started, but it's also how they still are doing it. Like to this day, they're inventing new machines, new equipment to show a different way to film and show a picture, which is really cool compared to a lot of other people like, oh, I'm just gonna buy this camera and buy this and buy this tripod because it has good reviews, and then you know what I mean. It's not
right,
like that. It's like they're always innovating and making new equipment on top of making new film and making new visual effects.
yeah, like I think I'm not sure if ILM is working on the new Avatar movie that's coming out this fall, but um,
I want to say they are, but
they
I
probably are. But
mean, now that it's all
they
Disney, it's kind of
they had to invent a new camera that works in water to make this movie,
this current one that we're
the
about to
new
see.
one.
Oh wow.
And so like they had to like invent a new kind of camera on how it works in water, which is interesting. And that's just part of the keeping up with innovation that we mentioned earlier, how you have to keep pushing the boundaries and making new things because people keep seeing the flaws. And so I'm excited for a new Avatar movie. Are you excited for a new Avatar movie?
I mean, I am like
That's not.
I
If you were
okay, no.
excited, you wouldn't have that
I
pause.
am in the sense of like I'll watch it when it comes out. I'll probably go see it opening weekend. Am I like on the edge of my seat waiting to view this thing? Eh, I mean,
I
I'm
don't know.
just excited for this as the new Indiana Jones film. Like
Okay,
when it
I don't care
comes
about
out,
Indiana Jones at
when
all.
it comes out, I'll watch it. I'll be excited. Am I counting down the minutes and the days? No. You know
Hmm,
what I mean?
okay.
Like, I didn't know they're creating new cameras and stuff, like and,
Which
I
is
mean,
interesting because
maybe
it's like all CGI anyway, so I don't know why they need new cameras, but
true. Well, even when they made the first one, remember? It was, like, the first cameras that were filmed with 3D film cameras,
ooh, and then now
uh,
nobody cares about 3D
and no one
anymore.
has uses like, the only visual effect with that movie was when you saw it in theaters, but then after that, no one was able to get that effect again, so I was like, "What's the point?"
Like the TVs were like $10,000,
Yeah,
and
it's like I
do
know
they even
one per
sell 3D TVs anymore?
not anymore. No, that's a
Like,
dying
what can
thing.
you even
It's dead.
do they even do 3D movies in theaters anymore?
That's a good question.
I don't even know. Like,
It's been a hot minute since I've seen an option. I think maybe maybe Endgame was the last movie I remember, like, seeing, like, "Oh, should we go watch it in 3D?"
interesting. I've never seen a 3D movie
Definitely
in the
not
theater
since
before.
COVID. Really? You never I think I've seen Force Awakens in 3D, if that was an option.
Interesting.
Speaking of, did you go see Rogue One in IMAX this weekend?
No, I did not.
Neither
Did
did
you?
I. I really wanted to.
Is it going on all month, like the
I
next
don't
month?
know. That's a good question.
But
I just
I
saw that
know
it came out this weekend.
Retta in the Discord went and saw it, and they were giving away Andor posters.
I did see that. That's one of the reasons why I wanted to go.
That'd been
Which, I
cool.
mean, you could probably just go to AMC and get Andor posters at this point, I'd assume.
AMC.
Oh, I mean, yeah.
Gross.
I mean,
Marcus.
speaking of posters, on Friday, I went to the mall and at GameStop, they were giving away they had one Lego authentic, like, GameStop poster, and they're just giving it away for the new Lego game. And so, your boy has this dope, like, plastic, almost like you know what I mean? Like, it's not just paper, it's, like, harder paper
It makes the
stock.
makes that sound. I
Yeah,
know what you're talking about. I know that sound.
yeah. But it's a Lego poster, so I was pretty pumped about that. I was like and I got for free. It's pretty cool.
Wow, that's pretty cool. All right. Well, anyway, this John Dykstra, the main guy. So he was a professor at a college, just doing like movie making, filmmaking, visual effects stuff, like in the classroom. And so wanted George wanted him, I believe it was. It's kind of confusing because like they say George was not involved like in the first half of production with, so it's kind of hard to like figure out how exactly the team got together. But I think he was appointed John Dykstra to kind of like get this together to build a team. And so he's the one that suggested making these moving cameras that went along tracks rather than moving things in front of the camera, you just move the camera, and that makes things a lot easier and more precise. So, which is true. Like that's how, like, um, if you want the same shot over and over again, but with different lighting or something, like you run it on a track, and the camera just moves in the same thing, so that way you can
Mhm.
compare and put them on top of each other and see how they look. And so, this is kind of like one of the biggest things that we get out of Star Wars is they invented this. Um, Basically they mention it later, but it's these many passes of the same picture but with different lighting and different aspects. You just sandwich them all together on screen, and that's how you get these crazy things moving. But none of the objects on screen are actually moving. It's just
Mhm.
the camera moving that makes it look like it's moving. So that's um, pretty cool. So like if you want to see more, I don't know if they're going to show that in this documentary series at all, but if you go to Corridor Crew on YouTube, they do a lot of the breakdowns of the
Of
special
those
effects
effects.
and like actually show like how they did it in more detail. And so I recommend that. Look up this Corridor Crew, and then they have like a million episodes on millions of movies. But you can definitely find the Star Wars stuff and goes in deep dives on how the sandwich technology worked.
Mhm.
But they used that same technology to make the Mandalorian. Like with the Razor Crest going through space,
Yep.
they just did that same thing. And I think they talked about that in the Disney Gallery for season 1 of Mandalorian, where they guy was just in their garage, just made the Razor Crest in his garage and
Yep.
put up some lights and made a rail or whatever, and that's where they shot the Razor Crest in space, was just in this guy's garage. So that's pretty cool.
Well, and I remember in that like John Favreau wanted to go back to the old school of filming with
Right,
that. S- So
right. Which is, it's kind of like a lost art on how to
yeah,
do things. Um, Now, I'm very thankful to be alive in 2022 with the special effects that we get, because
yeah, but sometimes it could be overboard and just not unnecessary. Honestly, like the Boba Fett when we got that four-arm guy out of the sand.
he was a little janky.
Yeah. So
But
even nowadays, we still get some JQ pieces. So,
you'd be
but
watching Corridor Crew, you'd be surprised at how much stuff that you watch is actually CGI.
oh
Like, you'd
yeah,
be
probably.
surprised like how much any shot in a movie is this basically all CGI, especially with like environments.
Well,
Like,
even like in the beginning intro of this episode, like they show um like the Avengers, right? They showed it as like the picture in the movie, and
yeah,
then it panned over, and that image of the Avengers, the first movie of them all standing in a circle back to back,
yeah,
and it panned, and then it went into the green screen and the effects of the Avengers, and like only two of them out of all of them were actually standing there, like
right. Well,
because.
obviously,
But
uh,
it was just like
the
even
Hulk is
like
not there.
well, true. But even like Thor wasn't even wearing half of his armor. Like it
Right.
was like barely any of it. So it's like, yeah, it's pretty cool about how they get it. But some of those moments when like they pull back the curtain a little bit, sometimes it does kind of take you out of it.
A little bit, but what little I know about camera work is lighting is everything.
Mm-hmm. True.
And if you're trying to film on a set like downtown New York City, every 20 minutes the light angles are going to change,
Mm-hmm.
and every scene's going to look different every 20 minutes. And so it's like you can't do that like with regular cameras. So it's like why controlled environments are so important. That's why CGI is so important, because you can make the lighting the same in every shot, and then you don't have to deal with all that. So there's plus and minuses to everything, but Star Wars definitely invented new ways of doing things that we can be appreciative still today. So,
True.
and so that was John Dykstra. He put the team together and kind of like suggested the whole moving camera and all that stuff. But another name, Dennis Murin, he was a special effects guy, but he said, or the documentary said that like special effects was a dying thing at that point, where special effects studios were closing down, and he was like, yeah, I was working on these things, but like I didn't feel like there was a future in special effects, which was like, that's kind of crazy that you would have that idea.
I
But
wonder if it was because it was this there was I think what made that come back into my mind by viewing this was when one of the guys, he works at Disney, and he was doing this as like a part-time gig kind of thing, it seemed like.
right.
But he was working at Disney and he was a young guy, but then we went to ILM and he was the old guy. And I
Yeah, one of
think
the
that
guys, yeah, I can't remember who that
comes
was.
back to the fact that like they tried to do special effects and there was a few movies that it did well, but then there was a lot more movies that didn't work. And so a lot of these older people that were still in film and that were still working at these places probably was like didn't want to waste their time on special effects at
Yeah,
all.
because I think
And
he
like
said
what movie was I think it was the Walt Disney movie or whatever, the one about the making of Mary Poppins, and like the cartoon and live action effect in that movie, when they actually made Mary Poppins, like so many people were having issues with like, is it gonna work? Is it gonna flow? Like, is it gonna take people out of the movie and stuff like that? And so they were still kind of figuring out how to use it.
right, and so I think they mentioned like there was like Disney and then like one other studio that was like focusing on special effects, but they're just giant studios.
Yeah,
Um, but like he still thought it was like like there's no future in um being involved with special effects. But he got recruited by John Dykstra to join this team, and so I was like, okay, fine. And so what I thought was really cool, and I'm surprised they even had this footage from all these guys, but all of these homemade films that they
Dude, I was
made
gonna say
when
the
they
same
were
thing.
when they were like teenagers, like making
Mhm.
homemade like how are they? First of all, how are they have these still after? Because these guys
True.
were look these movies. The Star Wars came out first. Star Wars movie came in 1977, and so
Mhm.
this stuff was in 1976 when they started, or 75 or whatever. I can't remember how long they were doing it, but for sure 76 is when they were making the
Well, and
movie.
they made these films as
Yeah,
kids in, like,
and
the
kids
'60s.
and so like because a lot of these guys were in their 20s, so like
Yes.
literally 10 years before they are making these homemade films. And one, how do they still have these film, like because it's actual film, like strips of
Yeah.
film, and then it was so like high quality, like the image quality, I should say, is very good.
Yeah, I think they edited some of it because there's one where they showed, like, the the film, and then they showed it in black and white, so I'm wondering if they made it in color for us.
Oh, maybe, I don't know.
Cause like, it went to black and white, and then it went back to color, like, they kinda showed, like, the steps of it, and I wonder if they just did it to make it more visually appealing to us, but it was actually in all black and white. Cause I'm like, "How do they have film color cameras when people didn't even have colored TVs at that point in the '60s?" Like, cause I remember, like, I mean, if you watch that '70s show, they were, like, raving that one of them finally has a color TV, and it was, like, a big deal. So, like, I mean, I can't imagine them having cameras that can film, like, a random person. Cause I mean, everyone, like, studios and stuff have film colored cameras, but not the normal people yet. I feel like it's kinda too soon.
Right.
So,
I know there were colored like cameras that you could buy like as like a normal citizen, but like I don't know,
but, like, it was probably super expensive,
probably. But
and these kids seem like they're
anyway,
janky.
my point is the kids, they're making these
Well,
homemade films,
the one with the hand
and
on the
like
fence,
yeah,
I'm
like
like,
they're doing all these crazy things.
yeah,
Like I'm trying to make like my cufflinks.com movie I made.
yeah,
Like that took me a lot of work, and I hated that process. But like their stuff was like way better than mine, and I wouldn't even know how to. Like I can't even do the stuff on DaVinci Resolve as well as they did it with just strips of film.
exactly.
And like so they're making all these films, and so like I don't know, just watching those things were pretty cool. But I like what they said because they would go to the movies, watch these crazy like dinosaurs on screen and like motion cap dinosaurs and all these other things, and they're like, well, I want to do that, like, and so they themselves had to figure out. They didn't have YouTube tutorials, they didn't couldn't Google
Nope.
it, they just figured out on their own how to make like a giant hand come up from a fence that's like an actual human hand while a person standing on the other side of the fence looking at the hand.
Fighting
And
it off with a broom.
yeah,
Like,
like
or they made the giant beanstalk guy. He, like, ate, you know,
right.
that pit whatever, he was eating it and he became a giant, and so you could look out the window, there's this giant
Right.
dude, and I'm like, "How are you guys?" I don't even know how to do that, like, and there's YouTube tutorials that could probably teach me how to do it, but at the same time, it's like, they didn't have anything like that, like you said, Jeremiah, like, none of this, like you said, and me too, like, some of the stuff that they did on film, we could not do with the technology, with the double monitor, a giant computer that's better than anything they had back then, and we still probably couldn't do, like, half the stuff they did
Right.
with
And so
film.
like so obviously that those kids at the time who are now on this team for Star Wars, this is they're did those when they were kids, and then when now they're in the 70s as like college age, mid to 20s or whatever. And so they're already in the mindset of like how do we do this? Because that's what they've been doing with films, is they've been inventing for themselves how to make these films and do special effects on their own. And so they're already in this mindset of innovation, which I think is great for the team. Probably at that time, that's how innovation worked. Is like people just had to figure out things on their own. Or nowadays, like everything is just an app, or everything is just whatever. You just push a button and it does it for you, type of thing, like a filter or whatever. And so I don't know. I'm not going to say that kids these days aren't as innovative as they were back in the day, but like as a special skill that was necessary for that time in history for movies, of like people just being innovative with themselves. And I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah. See, I say that I agree with you in parts of that, Jeremiah, but then I can give my niece my iPad and she can edit videos and stuff on the iPad that I couldn't even do on here. So I don't know.
Yeah, but that's
They're
not.
more
But she's not.
integrated.
She's just learning how to do something that was already made.
But she's 5 years
But
old.
she didn't create. She didn't make an app that could edit the
True.
video for you.
But
Like
she could
that's
also,
basically what it would be. Like if
yeah,
your
exactly what it is.
10-year-old brother invented a app like from scratch and made it work perfectly, like, and then that's basically what these kids were doing when they were making films. Like they did these impossible things for that time, and I don't know. I think it's pretty crazy.
Yeah. No, I get that.
Yeah. But. And then they were also, which I didn't really understand why, but they said they were using like 40-year-old cameras at this time. I'm like, I thought, like, why doesn't 20th Century Fox have cameras that they could use? Like, I didn't understand
budgets.
I may have missed it, but I guess I'm giving 20th Century Fox too much credit. Maybe they weren't as big of a studio back then as they are now.
I don't. Back then they were not. And remember, this was I think the second or third person to finally pick up Star Wars. They got dropped by 2 other studios before that.
Did they say that, or do you just know that?
No, that was from a different documentary thing that we've actually gone over before.
Oh.
I forget which one, but so it was like it was picked up by 20th Century Fox, but for a lower budget than George originally wanted.
Right.
So because of that, like the guy's like, wait, I can buy this thing for $1,500. Like that's nothing compared to what they're spending in Europe. But they had no idea what their budget was. And I feel like some of those people didn't even realize how much they're gonna get paid. Like it seemed like a bunch of young guys, let's hang out, let's drink and have a pool party at the back at every day. Like they kind of just all were just they had the same goal in mind and they had the same hobbies and they're all just hanging out together.
And you see that they had one guy's dad bought an an airplane escape slide.
Yeah,
and they just
pretty much
put it in a parking lot and threw some water on it, and they're doing a slip and slide for fun, like during the day. Like,
because they literally
they were just friends.
Yeah.
And a lot of these guys, they're probably, this is like at the end of like the hippie age. Like, so they're kind of like, they were like kids and like
I think
teenagers.
they softened what they're talking about. Let's just say
they're probably doing some other things.
Like, let's say they needed to shoot 400 things and they only had 2 things done. Like,
I feel like some of those those aliens that they made in the Katina scene were inspired by some other things.
By some other things, yeah.
But yeah, but they were like, one of the guys was like, we could just do our own schedule. Like,
yeah, they had no guidance.
I was like, yeah, I just go in at noon, work till 8:00 at night, or I'd come in early one day and leave early. Like,
well, the guy said he like a lot of times he would come in at noon and leave at midnight. Like, it was just kind of like whatever.
Right.
But then they were showing all this pool stuff. I'm like, when did they actually work though? Because they seemed like they were having a lot of fun time outside in the pool. And I mean, that place had no AC, so it was probably hard to work.
Well, didn't they say they had like this big tub that was only like 5 by 5 or something?
They bought like a
with water,
military, yeah, they bought like a military tub from the industrial store, and they filled it up with water, and they all sat in it too.
But you only fit like 3 or 4 people in at a time, and like,
But they had like 5 people in that one photo.
yeah, but
And 2 poor girls squished in between all these nasty looking dudes. Like,
yeah.
it was a little sus, but whatever.
But yeah, so
The
it was,
70s, I guess.
yep. But yeah, so what I also thought was cool was how um they did a contrast between what the rebel ships looked like compared to the empires, and it's like the rebel ships were compared to like hot rods of the day. They were kind of like, because hot rods is something you can like customize yourself and make to look the way you want, and that's kind of like what the rebels did. They had to make what they needed to get by. But like the empire's ships were all like off the production line, like all pristine, like all uniform, blah blah blah. And so I thought that was cool how they, because like I think they originally said like they had designs for the rebel ships, but like they weren't really like, people didn't like them because they were too clean cut, just like the empire ones. So
Mhm.
they had to like make it a contrast. So I've never thought of it that way. How like the rebel ships are more hot rod, more customized hot rods, whereas the empire's is kind of off production line, all the same, which was cool.
Cookie
But
cutter.
I didn't know this, but Han Solo's original ship was a Tantive 5.
Yeah.
I didn't. Did you know that?
I didn't into this. So this chat right now, for you listeners and viewers on YouTube, the chat is going crazy and they're talking about completely other things. So maybe by you mentioning this right now, Jeremiah, maybe they'll reel them back in.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, chat. Come on.
They're like, oh, sorry, we're
Stop.
because I mean, we didn't mention this, but it's back to school time. There's a lot of
Oh
people
yeah.
first day of school was yesterday, and they're talking about who can help them with writing their homework papers, and yeah, the chat's a mess tonight. But anyways, yes,
Yeah,
that
yeah, yeah,
was
guys in
pretty.
the chat and gals in the
Yeah,
chat. Like
yeah, step it up. Come on, focus.
the original ship of Han Solo was the Tantive. So like
Yes,
I did
which
not know
was
that.
also inspired by the movie 1999.
No, 2001.
Or is it 2001? I don't
2001,
remember.
1999.
I thought there was a movie called 1999 that they took it from.
No, it's 2001: A Space Odyssey. You ever seen that movie?
I have not, and I don't plan to, I
So
don't
that, I
think.
think that was like late 60s, early 70s. It's considered like one of the most iconic movies of all time.
Yes, I've
And
heard of it.
it's in college. I watched it in film class. Like it's a different movie. I can tell you that.
You
But
you seen it? Did you
yeah,
like it?
it was very weird. Like
Well, George was talking about how it was slow, but he
I
liked the concept.
okay, first of all, this has been like over 10 years since I've seen this movie because that's how long it's been I've been in college. But I remember it was like there was a lot of slower parts, and it's kind of like a concept that you would have for a movie today, where like there's like space journey and like the AI. I think if I remember correctly, the AI of the ship. Like,
Was
have
talking?
you seen iRobot?
Of course.
It's basically that, but instead of like a computer system that's in a society, it's like a computer
Mhm.
system in a ship takes over.
Oh,
Kind
so
of,
it's
I think,
possible.
if I remember something like that. And then, but then it goes back and forth. So they're in space and it's crazy technology, but then it like
Yeah.
goes back thousands of years of like millions of years when like monkeys are like they've
Oh.
discovered how to use a stick to like break something. Like
Oh, it's like evolution-y,
it's
kinda.
weird. It's a weird movie. And then there's like this part at
But,
the
I mean
end. They're definitely on drugs at the end when they made this.
oh, okay.
It, it was a crazy
I
movie,
was gonna
but
say it is possible though. Like if everyone's Tesla all of a sudden starts to drive themselves and they have no control out of it.
I saw like a TikTok or something of like it's 2050 and the government shut down everyone's electric cars and like the freeways is like empty, but I still have my gas powered thing. It's a guy going like 100 miles an hour down the highway.
Heck yeah.
Which is also kind of like iRobot when everyone has electric cars, but the guy has the
True.
motorcycle.
Yeah. The guy had his Audi that
Motorcycle,
was well, he also had his Audi thing that wasn't fully electric compared to the other ones.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you have an electric vehicle, the government's going to take control of your life,
We'll
just so you
shut it
know.
down one day, so
Yep,
don't buy a Tesla. Or do, because 'cause they're cool, and you can go to 0 to 60 in zero point 0.2 seconds, and it
and
feels
then
like your
you
chest is going through the bottom of your body. It's pretty
have you
cool.
driven one?
I yeah, my friend Pearson has one.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah, I've driven one. They're dope.
I'm sure they are. But anyway, I can't remember why did they say they didn't like the Tantive 5 for Han Solo? Like, what was the issue?
Because it was too similar to the ship in that movie.
So they didn't want it to be the
So
focus. Okay,
he didn't want a major ship in that movie to be copied in any way. Like,
okay,
George was very adamant about all the ships being unique and different, so he didn't want that movie to be the same.
right. Okay, so that being said, when they were designing the Tantive 5 and George saying no, like all they had for like inside the ship or any specific things for the ship was the cockpit and the radar. Like it was they actually made with models.
Mhm.
And so they're like, well, this is all we have so far. So how do we take this and make it into a ship? And the guy said he looked over and saw a bunch of dishes, like they were by the sink or whatever. And he just went and got some bowls together and put them together and looked like a flying saucer. And then like he kind of just added stuff to it and made designs. And that's
And that's
how the Millennium
Millennium
Falcon came to
Falcon was
be.
born.
And they call it the pork burger. Is that what they called it originally?
I
Like
think
just as like
so.
a joke, like the pork looked like a big giant hamburger.
Yeah.
But it was cool how like he had to figure out like, okay, where's this cockpit gonna go? Like on the ship, like on the top, on the bottom, in the middle, like on the side. And he's like, George is not gonna want something boring like right in the middle. That's why he put it all the way off to the side, which is cool. So I didn't know about that Han ship. That's a really cool
No.
behind the scenes thing. But so then a major thing that Star Wars is known for the original movies, but it's also something common of that of date of movies from that time period and earlier was matte painting. So um a, a
This
lot of the scene.
concept is really cool.
Did you know about this matte painting stuff?
I knew about it, but I didn't realize how much they implemented it in A New Hope.
Yeah, so a lot of movies would do that just because. So what you would basically the idea is you would actually film something like a set or whatever, but it's cut out where it's kind of one little part is filmed, and then the rest of the scenery is actually a painting, but it's or a drawing, but it's separate from the set. So it's
Mhm.
like if I were to draw, I don't know, like a forest, but I want Drew to be in that scene, like walking around or something. You just cut out a little spot in the
Yeah,
drawing, and then you film Drew as far away as you think he would be in that scene. And so you film Drew, and you kind of like the camera records through the matte painting, and then through the hole you see Drew, and so it looks like a flat image, but Drew is 20
but there's
feet
actually
behind
layers of
behind
it.
the painting, and the matte painting is right by the camera. But it looks if you do it seamlessly, it looks like they're one image, and so that's what a lot of Star Wars is. And the main way they showed this was when Obi-Wan Kenobi was turning off the tractor beam switch, and it's like he's walking on this little path like above like this bottomless pit basically, and just where he's walking and some of the platforms is what was actually filmed on set, but
Mhm.
everything else is just a painting. And so that's pretty cool, how they do that. And so that was a common thing that they did back in the day, and that's just how they had to do it because that's all they could do. But
Yeah.
I still really thought it was funny that even back then that guy was like, why did they put it in the middle of like this giant pit with like no railing and stuff? Like he could fall. Like why would they?
Yeah,
The Empire design it. Like even today, people say that, and it's funny. So even back then, they were like,
but it kinda makes sense in the sense they don't want people to randomly want to go on that thing and turn off the
"Well, yeah,
whole.
but you couldn't just put a security door and like some guards and
But the guards were dumb. Have
I'm
you ever
just
seen that? I saw an image the other day, right? Of, like, the stormtrooper helmet, but like you see through, and then it shows a guy's face and the eyes
Oh,
like
I've seen that.
lined up, and it's just like half of the
Yeah,
vision
like
is cut off.
stormtrooper eyes on the helmet
Don't line
don't
up with their head.
aren't lined up with the eyes on him. Because like if you didn't know this, but a person's eyes are literally halfway down, like it's like very in the middle of your skull.
Yeah,
So like stormtrooper helmets, the eye holes are not halfway down; they're
they're
up
a
too
little
high.
higher up. Yeah,
So when
which
people
makes
say you
me
have a big forehead, you don't actually have a big forehead because everyone's forehead's the same, but your hairline is different.
you just have a bad hairline.
You just have bad hairlines, but everyone's eyes are basically right in the middle of their head or face or whatever you want to say. So, fun
Yeah,
fact. Learned that in art class in like middle school.
there it is.
Thank you,
Chat. What did Jeremiah just
Miss.
say?
I think it was Miss Beck. Miss Beck, if you're listening.
Oh, Miss Beck. Shout out to you.
Yep. Okay. So that was matte painting, and that was Harrison Ellenshaw, is the guy who came on
Which his
board.
dad
Was he mentioned his
uh,
dad?
he worked
Why
for
did you bring it
Disney.
up if you didn't know?
I hoped you knew exactly. He worked
He
for
did.
Disney.
His dad worked on Disney movies and stuff, so
Yes. And he was like pretty much like right
best
hand man to Walt.
something like
Seemed
that.
like something like
Yeah,
he's really well known. He did a lot of the movies and stuff, and a lot of the older Disney, like he did all of the paintings for the Mary Poppins, which I was talking about.
right.
So he had a big influence, and he didn't want to do it, but his dad kind of was like, "Hey, we need Disney. Like at Disney, we can't find a good worker to do it, and you have some drawing skills. Can you just do
Oh
this?"
yeah, because he said like he took a drawing class and got like a C.
Yeah,
He's like, I suck at drawing, but his dad was like, just get a job at the studio. Like
yeah,
if you suck at it or you get fired or whatever, like just try it out. And then like that became like his career, which is cool.
yeah.
Which
So
nowadays you can't do that
it's
because
like what the
an
like
entry position you need
what
10 years experience for a job.
what is life when you can just like, oh yeah, I'll just go work at Disney and test out my life and see if this
That
works.
was
Like what? There's people waiting to work at Disney for years, and like it's just
the job market is very different now than it was.
true. But back then it was definitely like you had to know someone though. I bet you like now anyone can
I
just
don't
go out.
know. I
I don't know. I guess because
I don't
all
know.
these
I feel
people,
like I hear a
all these
lot of people like back in the 60s and 70s, like when they first got their job, it's like I just went to this place, asked for a job, and they're like, sure. And then they just work their way up, and
So if
I
you
don't know.
had a crappy jobs in the 60s and 70s, that was on you for not just going up to Disney and saying, "Hey, let me work for
Basically,
you."
basically, like I don't know.
Oh dang,
I
our
don't know.
parents were probably slackers then. 'Cause-
Oh dang.
Uh,
But yes, so that's kind of like the main thing. But the way this episode ended was so George Lucas was filming the movie in London for 6 months or whatever it was, and getting all that stuff
a
done.
while,
Well,
and
and
they
so
kept having issues and delays.
that and all that stuff. But like, so George comes back after filming after 6 months. He's like, "All right, I hired all this John Dykstra to hire this special effects team and start doing all these scenes." And he comes back, and they only have 2 shots filmed. And so the 2 shots. Were you waiting to push that button this whole episode?
No, but
Oh, okay. But so there's the 2 shots that they filmed was the escape pod leaving the actual Tantive 5 that's
yeah,
not Han Solo ships, and then also just one of like those block gunner things from the Death Star. That's all they filmed,
because it
and
was the easiest to film.
yeah, those 2 were the easiest things to
Yeah,
film. So George, he comes back and sees that they only have 2 shots. And he's like, "You have, you were assigned 400 shots, and now this movie is set to be released in 6 months, and they have 398 shots left."
yeah.
And I'm guessing the next episode is going to explain how they got it all done,
Well,
but
like we mentioned before, they left us on a cliffhanger. Like that was it, and then it was like to be continued, and it was like,
Yeah,
oh,
but like I'm surprised that they put all that work into making all that technology, and they said like they'd be working these crazy hours, and but like yeah, sure they were having fun with their slip and slide and tubs and stuff,
other slides.
but like how do they only get 2 shots done?
I think
I
they still
I
didn't have all this stuff figured out, like all the equipment
I don't know.
figured
I feel
out,
like they
and
got it all figured out early on because like they
they're
knew that we had
probably
to make a moving camera. We have to, but like I understand they were building sets and stuff too because like they said like they had to
mhm,
buy all these like kits like the little ones where you break off the little
yeah.
piece like all those things they had to like get all these things and just build ships and stuff like I get that they're making the surface of the Death Star, they're making all these ships, they're doing all this stuff, but man, you wouldn't just like, hey, let's just say we could just film this one day, just this one shot, like test it out.
I guess we'll have to find out when we watch the next episode.
Yeah, but I don't
I
know.
don't know. They pulled it
Maybe
off, but I don't think it was done in 6 months.
I don't know. I think they got it done on schedule though. I don't think the release of
I
the
don't
movie was
know.
delayed, but I think the biggest problem they had though.
Star Wars gets delayed all the time.
Okay, but you want to know what I think was their biggest problem?
They probably were slacking because they weren't having their coffee intake that they
Yeah,
needed.
they didn't have caffeine.
Hmm.
See, back then they couldn't do online orders with promo codes,
True, they couldn't,
but
but they could walk up to this thing and get a job.
that too. But but nowadays you can be better than this team that invented Star Wars
True, if they can do it, we can
because
do it.
yes, but if you want to make the next big multi-billion-dollar franchise, maybe all you gotta do is just invest a few dollars in Wesley Andrews Coffee and Tea, which happens to be our sponsor for today. So let's take a listen to that.
Hey everyone, Andrew here. I'm pleased to tell you that the sponsor of today's episode is Wesley Andrews Coffee and Tea. If you don't know anything about Wesley Andrews, you definitely should. They're an award-winning coffee roaster and shop in Minneapolis, Minnesota, and they make fantastic coffee. The awesome thing is that whether you live in the Twin Cities or not, you can get their coffee beans delivered straight to your door by ordering them online. They even have a subscription service that ensures you never run out of amazing coffee. If you've been looking for some new coffee to try or a way to elevate your normal coffee routine, now's your chance. Head over to wesleyandrews.cc, use the code Empire Radio, that's with a capital E and a capital R with no space at checkout, to get 15% off your first purchase of any bags of coffee or a coffee subscription. I can't think of a better deal. Get 15% off some great coffee, support a small business, and support your favorite Star Wars podcast. In the words of Emperor Palpatine, do it.
Do it.
Do it. All right. So we don't know when we're gonna get to episode 2 of this is because next week is the Disney Plus day on Thursday, and so we know we're gonna get an Obi-Wan behind the scenes thing, but
Which
we
I think we're
are
gonna go over that, right? If we don't
well.
get
I think we're gonna get a Bad Batch season 2 trailer next Thursday, and so we did. Oh, gosh. Um, the trailer, yes. See, you always mess me up in my train of thought when you
my
push that
bad.
button.
The trailer. I just
But so
don't
we did
believe.
say last week that we are not going to be recording Tuesday next week, which is the Tuesday after Labor Day. But Thursday or Friday next week is when we'll do our next live stream. And so we're hoping that a Bad Batch trailer is dropped because I really want to do that. So we'll do that or the Obi-Wan Kenobi thing.
Yep.
But because right now, so next week would be the 8th or 9th on the Thursday or Friday, whenever we do that. And then the week after that is just one more week of something. and then we'll do Andor the next week after that. So
Andor.
So we're getting pretty close to Andor, so we're getting scrunched with what we're going to do for our schedule. But
And the Andor drop, pay attention for sure, you guys. You guys want to pay attention to the Andor drop because we might do some fun stuff that day. We'll see.
Well, we're trying to do 2 episodes that day.
That's what I mean, but I don't want
we
to
already
say.
We already told them that.
Oh, okay, yeah.
What do you mean?
I forgot.
Yeah,
2 episodes that Wednesday. So
Wednesday, probably Wednesday afternoon for episode 1, and then early evening, maybe earlier than 8 o'clock or something.
Yep.
We'll do a second episode on Thursday or on Wednesday next week. But maybe it'd be really cool if they released the first episode like an hour earlier or 2 hours earlier, like they did for Obi-Wan. Remember that? It was like,
I mean,
11 o'clock.
I have that day off, so the live stream is going to be on drop. So no matter what time. So that's another thing. If you guys are listening to this and you guys want to watch party with me at drop at 2 a.m. our time, or hopefully midnight or 11 would be nice. Disney, listen, please. That would be nice for us. But yes, live stream will be that night. So I'm expecting probably 1 or 2 of you guys in here because it's super late. But either way, we're doing it that night.
Yeah. So we're getting to crunch time, but we won't know exactly how all that's going to lay out until next Thursday. What is announced, and we might get. Do you think we'll get a Mando season 3 teaser trailer,
or just a trailer that they dropped at somewhere else?
Maybe.
I mean, I'd be down.
I don't know. I'm guessing they're
or even that other show.
Jedi. Oh, the Jedi Tales one or Tales of the Jedi.
Get that trailer for real. There's a couple trailers that we haven't gotten yet. So
so we'll definitely be looking forward to that, and we'll keep you.
I bet you we're gonna get that one.
I think we'll get. Now that you mentioned, I think we're gonna get both of those trailers.
Dang.
But we could get a Visions trailer too, season 2, because that's coming out like January or February. So we could get teasers for that. And so we're gonna get a lot of trailer. I think we're gonna get a bunch of Star Wars news and trailers and show stuff next week. So, but
Jeremiah has hopes.
If you want to be up to date on how it's all gonna go down next week, join the Discord because I'll put announcements in there on when things are gonna go. So, but like I always said, we don't know when we're gonna do episode 2 of this ILM or the Light and Magic stuff. So that might not be till after Andor or December or something when there's no shows going on or something. So we're left on the cliffhanger. So we're gonna have to wait months until we see it with George's reaction to them only getting 2 out of 400.
Unless we don't get anything else and we just get the Kenobi, and then we do the Kenobi next week, and then we have to do episode 2 to finish
or that too.
Well, we'll see, because who knows?
All right. Well, anything else, Drew, on this episode tonight? Any comments, ideas?
Nope. I enjoyed it. It was a little slow in the beginning, but overall I thought it was a fun watch, and I liked the storytelling of it and how they it felt different than just a plain documentary, and it had like you said, like it was cool that we even saw some of their older films that they're doing and stuff like that. So I don't know if you guys haven't watched that and you guys just heard our breakdown and you're like, well, it seems interesting. It is. So I would definitely highly recommend you guys go and watch it because it was fun.
All right, cool. Well, now that we're done with that, let's transition over to everyone's favorite time of the voicemail. Is the voicemail time, so let's listen to that.
It's voicemail time.
All right. So I think we have like 11 voicemails tonight. And we got one that just stands above the rest. And if you're in the chat, don't spoil it for Drew because I posted it in the Discord, like a screenshot of who sent something in. But
I think they might have already done that, but I'll find out when I listen.
All right, but anyway, we got 3 voicemails from Jedi Master tonight. So let's listen to number 1.
Hello, Empire Radio. Jedi Master Caden Hendricks here. And I was doing a little rewatch of Rebels recently, and I got to episode 10 where Ezra and Kanan go to the temple on Lothal, and Ezra sees these visions, and one of them is of Yoda speaking. And I'm like, how is Yoda able to do that? Like, he's alive on Dagobah at the time. I don't know what he's doing on Dagobah right now, but not on Lothal. And he appears these like white balls, kind of like he did, like Qui-Gon Jinn did appear to Yoda in Clone Wars. So my thoughts, I just wanted to know what your thoughts were. Like, what was Yoda doing? Was he doing an early Force projection, or what exactly was going on at the Temple in Lothal? How was Yoda able to commune with Ezra and Kanan? Let me know what you think, and may the Force be with you always.
All right, thank you.
That's a good question.
So we know from Clone Wars when Yoda goes to Dagobah in Clone Wars to learn about Qui-Gon and all that jazz, that Dagobah is very, very strongly connected to the Force. And that's also what Jedi temples are, is they're very places where the Force is very strong. So I think that when you're in very, very strong places like that, you can do things that you wouldn't normally be able to do. Kind of like with Grogu on the Seeing Stone in season 2 of Mando, when he's on there and he gets starts levitating or whatever and communing with the Force or whatever. Like, it's just crazy stuff that you couldn't normally do. So I think Yoda, being a Grand Master and as powerful as he was in those situations, could do things like that, talk with people. And so he does that in season 1 and season 2 with Ezra. I can't remember if any other times he does that. So, and I think,
I think that's it.
Because I think, like, when they're in season 2, when they're back at the temple and Kanan has to fight the Grand Inquisitor, who's a temple guard, like, that's something that I think Yoda was able to project. I'm not sure exactly. I can't remember, but I think that was created by Yoda for Kanan to do like a test. And so, like, I don't really know exactly how that works, but I think that's how that was working. And so I think, like I said, just if you're super strong in the Force and you're in these places that are super strong with the Force, you can do some crazy things. And I think that's all that happened. So any thoughts, Drew? Or that's pretty much it?
I would 100% agree with what you said. It definitely has to do with the environment. And I think there's lots of other situations where being in a Jedi temple or being in certain situations give you more access and ability to the Force than normal.
Kind of like
Luke.
Luke in episode 8, when he projected himself, he was on that rock that Rey was sitting on.
Yep.
Like, in that special spot. And so he had to go there to connect to the Force stronger. So, yeah. All right, cool. Jedi Master for your first one, but let's listen to your second one.
Hello, Empire Radio. Jedi Master Caden Hendricks here. I have a question that might sound a little strange. Do you have any questions for us as the listeners of Empire Radio? Like, what do you want to know about us? What do you want us to do? What do you want us to do in our voicemails? So, do you have any questions for us as the listeners? Let me know your questions. And may the Force be with you, always.
That's a very interesting question.
Question about a question.
Well, one, what's your mother's maiden name? What street did you grow up on as a child? What was your child's
social security number?
No, I think, I don't know. I think the best way for us to know our audience is Discord, obviously.
True.
I learn about crazy stuff about everyone in Discord, crazy conversations.
And then Jeremiah tells me because I'm not as active.
Yeah. Drew joined the Discord.
so if you all think I don't know, I probably, if it's big enough, I probably know.
Right. But I don't know. Like, a lot of our audience is pretty young, high school, college age. I don't know. What do you guys want to be when you grow up? Like, that's cool.
That's a good question.
Like there's like I talk to all these people in Discord, but like I never know. Like I know like Jerica's in college to be a teacher.
Oh,
I know.
I
Like
didn't know that.
yeah, so she's like a
Well, don't
kindergarten teacher or something. I don't know, but like I don't know. What do you guys want to be when you grow up? What are your guys' hobbies? What do you like? I don't know. I think when Will asks questions, he always like asks us a question and he gives us his opinion or answers to the
true.
question. So we know
That's
we
true.
already know enough about Will. Will, we don't need to hear more about you, but
Dang.
just kidding. But I was thinking about this question. I was thinking, how many of you would actually come to Minnesota for Empire Con if we had one?
You're really pushing this.
I don't know. I think it'd be fun if we could get
I
like
think it would
20
be
people.
dope, but I
If we
think
get
this is a
20
lot
people,
of planning, homie.
it would be. But that's like we would have to find a con that's already going on in Minnesota.
Oh, that's a lot easier.
So then people like that way we could do a meetup at another con.
At a con without spending the con money.
Spending the con money, but then like it'd be like a 2-day thing, where like we meet at the con or whatever, and then the next day we do kind of like we go to the Mall of America and do stuff at the mall, like a scavenger hunt in Mall of America or something.
Ooh, that'd be cool.
Or I don't know. I think it'd be cool to do like a 2-day weekend Empire Con. But like, how many would actually come to Minnesota for that? And obviously, if you're under 18, you need to bring a parent or guardian and all that jazz.
Yes.
And traveling is not cheap these days, especially when
definitely not
75% of flights get canceled, and so then you can't go on your trip anyway. Like, I know there's people here like in Minnesota, Iowa, Wisconsin that listen that could easily come, but you know, Will is in North Carolina. Cody, who sometimes sends in voicemails, or who's Code Trooper Crow in the Discord, he's in Idaho or Utah or something like that. I go way out there. Like, would he come over here? I don't know. Like, I want to do an Empire Con sometime. Next summer would be fun to meet you guys. But I would want to have like 20 people show up.
at minimum.
Like, not including parents and guardians. Like, I don't want like one person to come and they bring their like mom and dad with them, and that's 3 people. Like, I think
there's definitely places that I know that we could have access to potentially do a live podcast at the end of something we did one day.
That'd be fun.
So we could do like, we could all go to, like, for instance, Twin Cities Con is in November. Not saying that we're gonna do this, but I'm saying we could go to like a con.
Is there a Twin Cities Con every year? Twin Cities Con every year?
It's like our Comic Con.
Okay. And there's some big name people are coming to that.
Oh yeah, it's a bigger con.
So it might be worth.
Timothy Zahn's gonna be there.
That is true. I could have him
sign some books you're finally reading.
6 books that I'm reading right now.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's my main question is, would you actually come to Minnesota for an Empire Con?
Maybe so that's Jeremiah's question.
And if you come, you get an Empire Radio T-shirt that won't be taken down from a website that gets shut down.
Print them.
You can print them in bulk.
Yes.
Get an Empire Radio poster, like a 12x18 poster.
We could take a group photo and then make posters and then mail them to everyone.
Do you think we could get Andrew to come?
That would be the hard one for some reason.
we have 500 fans show up. Empire Con, but Andrew's
I have to record a guitar video.
Yeah, I can't picture him. I'm sorry, I'm busy. I can't. Cheeto has to lay on my lap. But yeah, is there anything else you want to add? Like what you want to know about fans or?
No, I'm curious on this. Like almost the whole chat right now is saying they would go, and that's 10 people. So 10 down, 10 to go.
If we could get Hold My Tea she lives in Europe somewhere, to come to America, the United States. Cool. That'd be really cool.
We got some international people to show up to this con. Be dope. All right, so let's put that. We'll put that out in the galaxy. Empire Con
2023, whenever that could be, next summer, next fall of next year. Hopefully, monkeypox hasn't taken over the world by then. But
good lord. I think they're gonna change the name of that, by the way.
It could be Empire Come for the podcast, stay for the monkeypox because we get shut down and locked down. Stay for the pox. All right, enough of that question. Thanks to you.
All
But that
right.
was number 2 of 3 from Jedi Master. So Jedi Master, let's listen to your third one.
Hey, Empire Radio, Jedi Master here with the last voicemail. So I just watched the trailer for the new Obi-Wan documentary, Jedi Returns. And personally, I'm really excited for it. I'm so glad that they're doing a behind the scenes finally. I was really hoping for a Disney Gallery, but this Return of the Jedi sounds really cool too. So yeah, I'm really excited. Let me know
It's the same thing.
your thoughts on the series or the show, and may the Force be with you always.
All right, well, like we said, it comes out next week, and so
no matter what, we'll be doing a breakdown of that either next week or the week after, depending if we get a good trailer or not.
Yeah, but if we get a bunch of trailers, then we'll have to wait till later to do it. But
true. Either way, we'll break it down at one point.
Yeah.
But with that, I think it is very close to Disney Gallery, honestly. Like, it's going to have a lot of, like, McGregor's point of view and his thoughts about becoming that role again. But, and Hayden also, but.
Yeah, because a lot of, like, their interviews beforehand, like, they couldn't really say much.
Yeah.
But now they can say everything. And I really wanted to learn more about, what's her name? Vivian, the girl that played Leia. Like, I want to know about her, like, how she got the part, like, what she thinks of Leia.
She has been going to, like, every con, too, by the way.
Yeah.
That girl is trying to get as much
she's
money
gonna
off
be,
this as possible.
She's going to be really big in the future.
Yes.
So I'm excited for her career. But
yeah,
Jedi Master will definitely, we'll watch it someday and do a breakdown of that. But we don't know. It could be soon, or it's going to be like 6 months from now. It all depends. But we'll see. All right, cool. Thank you, Jedi Master, for those 3 voicemails. And this next one, we haven't heard from this person in a long time.
Ooh.
And this is the first time hearing from this person since the end of the VCU.
Ooh.
So let's listen to a message from Boss Nass.
Oh, yeah, I was spoiled in the chat.
Hello, Empire Radio. Me's are back, and Me's have been gone for a long, long time. Me's have been taking a big journey to the planet's core. Me's have been waiting to contact you, but the communications down there, they are not bombard. Not at all. Now Misa sitting in Otagunga thinking about the big galaxy and the big VCU. Misa hoping that decent people be drawn Misa if they are good artists. Anyways, bye-bye.
You ran out of time there, but
yeah.
Yes. So, Boss Nass, it's good to hear from you. And yes, we're trying to get this art project done. And I really think it'd be cool if we see someone draw like a jacked Boss Nass.
Ooh, like a Hulk Boss Nass.
Hulk Boss Nass, like it's the normal head, but like just jacked. That would be really cool. Like especially him fighting Palpatine at the end of the VCU.
Oh yeah, that'd be
really cool because that'd be really cool. But speaking of the VCU, I'm going to jump ahead in the chronological of these voicemails coming in. Because he mentions about the art project and all that jazz, but we still have a voicemail from Lucy tonight, which kind of, she brings the VCU art project up a little bit. So since we're on the topic of the VCU, let's listen to Lucy.
Hi everyone, it's Lucy. I know there's been a lot of voicemail radio silence from me lately, but I am back.
True.
And now, do we remember those times when Will would always send in voicemails just plugging the Empire Radio Discord? Well, that's what I'm doing now, but for the VCU art submission thing. Basically, we have a lot left to do. We have 78 voicemails left to illustrate. We've only sent in a total of 8. So, if you have any sort of artistic skills, please help us here. Also, in the spirit of back to school season, what sort of bags did you use during your school days? Or if you're still in school like I am, what do you currently use? I just always had a typical backpack. But surprise, surprise, last year's had an Ahsoka design to make it so much better. Let me know what you think. Send in that art, and may the force be with you.
Awesome. Yes, thank you for that, Lucy. Yes, everybody, get on the VCU art project.
True.
If you're listening right now, go into the description below, click on the links.co/Empire Radio landing page, links with 2 eyes. There is a link to a Google Docs labeled the VCU Illustration Project. If you can draw, paint, digital art, sculpt, do Lego creations, do whatever, anything art related,
Film a video of you acting it out.
yeah, act it out, whatever. Do
Come on.
stop motion something. Like, do that.
True.
Listen to these voicemails, these awesome story that came up to be, these fan-made story that we did with the voicemails, and we just need people to illustrate them. Like, it's great. Lucy's been sending stuff in. We got some other people have been sending something, but like she said, we only got like 8 sent in, and we have, like she said, like 78 or something left, or whatever she said. Like,
yeah, it's a lot.
Come on, people. I know.
You wanted it done by the end of the summer.
I wanted to be done with it by now, but maybe with this last push, people are back in school. They have access to art supplies now,
True.
like I said a few weeks ago.
And
maybe this can be
projects that are due.
Art projects too that people are gonna have for classes. So maybe if we push it this fall, and I can have it done by Christmas Day.
Ooh,
my present to everyone would be to post the VCU illustration project on YouTube on Christmas Day. That's what would be. That's my new goal. It was like by now this summer to have it done by now, but this fall everybody can work on it. And by Christmas, if I can have that up, that'd be really cool. So send in your art submission things. There's all the description on how to submit what we're looking for is in that Google Docs, in our landing page for the links.co/Empire Radio. It's even if you don't even think you're that great, like if you are an okay artist, that's fine. Send it in. We'll use it. We'll fit it in there.
Lucy in the chat right now. New deadline, all caps, exclamation point, exclamation point. So you hear it here first. There's a new deadline. So let's not be like ILM. Let's make sure this deadline actually counts this time. Okay?
I feel like George Lucas. It's been 6 months. Now we got 8 voicemails.
There's only been 2 things sent in.
Oh gosh,
out of 400.
And we all want to see a wide range of artistic, like talents and like ways people can, like, if you want to do like some abstract stuff, like it's not like it doesn't have to be like some super accurate, like realistic, photorealistic drawings or anything. Like if you want to do something more like abstract, more Picasso-esque.
If ILM can do it, you can do it. We should name this. That's what we should name this episode. If ILM can do it, we can do it.
Anything ILM can do, we can do better. If you work at ILM and you want to illustrate some of this stuff, that would be super cool.
Or if you're listening to this and you know someone that works at ILM, send them our way. We would love to interview them too.
Yeah, like, or if you have your art teachers in school.
True.
That they're super good artists because they're
Star Wars fans.
And they're Star Wars fans. Come on. Let's have them paint and draw and all that stuff. But anyway, thanks you for that, Lucy, for that push for that, like Will did with the Discord stuff. But Lucy also had a question for us. What kind of bags did we use in school? Like backpacks, book bags, or anything like that? So you're just a regular backpack.
I'm pretty sure we both use backpacks or bags today to go to work. So
yeah, I still use a backpack every day.
Yeah.
So I have 2 different backpacks.
Ooh,
I have just a simple, like, minimalist backpack that I got at Target. Like, Target, they're minimalist backpacks. They're really nice. They're nice and sleek. They're small. They're not like, I hate like 4,000 pockets and like the USB like charger for your phone. And like, no, I don't need all that crap. Just a simple backpack, main compartment, and then a front slit compartment. That's all it is. It's a great backpack. And then my second one is a little bit bigger one that I use for like when I go grocery shopping to like load with groceries and stuff. But in school, I just usually had a regular backpack. Drew, did you just use a regular backpack in school?
Yes. I'm trying to think if I had like a crazy one or anything. No, I actually grew up with like an Element backpack. I don't know if there's any skaters out there, but Element skateboard. I remember it was my favorite bag. I wanted it so bad. My parents finally got it. It was all gray and it had the 2 straps where you can put your skateboard on. And I could never really skateboard, but all the kids at school had one. And I remember it was so expensive. I had to use it 2 years in a row because it was that expensive of a bag. But today I just use, honestly, I bought recently because I've been using a roll up kind of bag for work. It was a Fossil one that my wife got for free when she did some free stuff for Fossil. So I used that for a while and it's still really good. I just recently switched it up to the bag I brought to ICCC, which is actually a fishing tackle bag, but it has a lot of different pockets and stuff, and they're all like, it has a lot of slits for like, I used it for like SD cards and stuff like that. And so I've been using that one since because it has like a Velcro thing, and I got a patch from ICCC of Thrawn, and it says ICCC, so I have that in my bag right now. So every day I think of ICCC and what's cool. So I've been using that lately, but
Cool.
yeah.
I'm pretty sure my back problems now are from
Your backpack.
high school because
Maybe, yeah.
I had to put all my books and all my binders for all my classes in my backpack, and like it would be like a
Can you use your
25.
locker?
That's the problem because you only had 5 minutes passing time between classes, and there's no way you can go like my school. Okay, my high school was not the biggest.
Did you go to Central?
No, I went to Harding.
Oh,
So there's like we had like 2,000 students, which is not a big high school. I get it.
that's big for me.
Well, there's high schools here in Twin Cities that are like 3, 4, 5,000 students, and I'm like,
That's crazy, man.
but like
My school only had 500 K through 12.
we had too many students in my school,
Yeah.
and between classes, there's so many students in the hallway. You could not go to your locker, get a new book or binder or whatever, and go to your class. Like you had 5 minutes, and if you're like opposite side of the school, you had to like go straight there and barely get there because there's so many kids in the hallway. It's like you're walking slow. But so I had to put all my books and all my binders and stuff in my backpack.
And they let you bring your backpack to class?
Yeah.
Oh, my school didn't let me do that. So
What? Why not?
I don't know. We just weren't allowed to have backpacks. I'm pretty sure a lot of schools now won't let you do that.
Is that true?
For safety, chat, help us out, chat. But I'm pretty sure for safety reasons, a lot of schools probably won't let you bring bags anymore in class.
I guess the times have changed. I guess, but
yeah,
that's probably why I have terrible back problems. Like my back is the worst it's ever been.
That would make sense. Also, you work at a place where
I lift a lot of heavy stuff. Yeah, but
yeah,
I should just got the one with like the handle and the wheels. I should have had that. I guess drag it behind
you should
me.
not have had that. Definitely not.
All right, thank you, Lucy, for that voicemail. And thank you, Boss Nass. Yes, we'll be working on the VCU illustration project. Let's see here. See, I'm deleting these. Okay, so next we have one from Addie. So let's listen to that.
Hey Empire Radio, it's Addie back at you with another voicemail. Now this is a update on how my homework is going, as you mentioned last episode. So far, unfortunately, my Taekwondo instructor, Mr. Richards, was out of town this week, so I wasn't unable to talk to him. But so far, I've gotten my best friend Elena, who's a huge Star Wars fan. I mentioned it to her. I don't know if she'll listen to it yet, but keep an eye out for that, hopefully. She's a huge Ahsoka fan, and if you read my script, and look for the name Sophia Rose, that's her. She's been a huge supporter of my script since the beginning. Anyway, I'm running out of time. Hope you have an awesome day, and may the Force be with you. Bye!
All right, cool. Thanks, Addie, for recruiting more people to the Empire. Your efforts will not go unnoticed. So
truth.
But it'd be cool to see your teacher
Maybe
become a
you can
fan
give
too.
us some like free lessons via Discord or something.
Taekwondo instructions.
Yeah. We get all on a Discord call and we can just copy him. that'd be cool.
Ha.
That'd be
All
fun.
right.
Just
Cool.
put it out there, you know.
All right. So, thank you for that, Eddie. We love hearing from you. Next, I don't know if this is the first time from this person or not, but we got a voicemail from Darth Bane from the Discord. I don't know if he's ever sent in a voicemail. I'm not sure, but I can't remember. But
I
let's
can't
take a
either
listen.
off the top of my head.
Hey, Empire Radio. This is Darth Bane from the Discord. Just have a quick question for you guys. What is your favorite superhero? I like Marvel and DC, so my favorite from Marvel would be Spider-Man, and my favorite from DC is Superman. Have a good day, and may the Force be with you.
All right, cool. What's wrong with Superman? You don't like Superman? He could beat you up.
He's broken.
What?
He's broken. He can do. He's supposed to win. It's
Yeah.
cheating.
That's not cheating.
All right. Okay.
Anyway.
Go DC first. Go DC first, and then.
Well, he just said what our favorite superheroes. So it doesn't even have to be DC or Marvel.
We
It
get
could
1
be
and 2. So let's do 1 and 2 too.
well. So a superhero. So
Correct.
like I've always liked Spider-Man. He's cool. Iron Man I like.
That's
I don't
it. No DC love.
Well, DC it's a love-hate relationship. Like it's not. I'm not
I get
passionate about
that.
DC. Like I like the DC movies more than a lot of other people. I'm not as. I get it. But I don't hate it as much as most people.
When he means most people, you guys, he means me.
There's that, but like I don't know. And there's a lot of all these. I'm not like a huge comic book. I don't know comics, so it's like every time I see new superheroes get revealed in movies and shows, it's all new. So it's like now that we're
like figure it out.
So it's
not like Star Wars or anything. Like,
right.
Yeah.
So
I get that.
I would say Spider-Man. I did like Scarlet Witch after or Wanda after WandaVision came out, but then in Doctor Strange, I kind of like I gave up on her.
Yeah, they kind of ruined her character, honestly.
But
in that movie.
Can we consider Loki a superhero now, or is he more of a villain or anti-hero or
anti-hero?
Like,
but I view him in the same light as well, especially now since the Loki show. I view him as the same light as Batman. Like he's becoming a hero, but he also has some like anti-hero traits, or
I don't know,
even or maybe the Punisher.
Like, I never watched that.
Well, it's on Disney Plus. You should watch it.
I know.
And even one of the best Marvel movies is on Disney Plus now, which we can't really recommend to people watch because it is rated R. But
which one? You can say
Logan.
Oh yeah, we said that before. Yeah, Logan is one of the best of all time. Oh, so Wolverine. That's a good one.
That's a good hero.
Wolverine, Magneto. I like Magneto, like from the prequel Magneto with Michael Fassbender. Like I really like his portrayal of Magneto. I think it was really good.
Yeah.
But Wolverine, yeah, that's a good choice right there. With Hugh Jackman's Wolverine, yeah, kind of hard to beat.
Yeah, I like Wolverine. Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man is probably my favorite version of Spider-Man. And then, yeah, I don't know. It's a hot take for a lot of people, but I like that version of Spider-Man, and I also like the way he portrayed that Spider-Man character in the newest movie too. Spoilers, but I just thought it was really good as well. So, and did you see that No Way Home is going back in theaters?
No.
I think this weekend
for
extended cuts. So it's like an extra edition, like I guess like an extra 20 minutes or something.
That's already a long movie. So
I know.
crazy.
For DC, Batman all the way, hands down. Especially the newer Batman movie. Whew, that was a good movie. So, Batman and the Flash. I like the Flash, not the movie Flashes though. That's awful. Straight rash. The Power Ranger Flash, no thanks. I'm not
Okay.
about that. But the show of the Flash, the first couple seasons were really good, so I highly recommend that.
All right. Cool.
I used to listen to a podcast breakdown of the Flash.
Really?
Yeah, that's kind of how I got the idea, honestly.
But then they do a crossover between the TV Flash and the movie Flash, like the
I
live
didn't do
action
it
Flash
anymore.
show that they have, like the CW one.
Yeah, they
Like
did a crossover,
yeah, where
maybe in like the multiverse or something.
yeah, where the Flash from the DC movies came into the show with the TV Flash. I heard.
Yeah,
Or
I mean, it's
saw.
possible.
But cool.
But yeah, I used to listen to a podcast all about the Flash TV show every week.
That's kind of funny.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you, Darth Bane, for that. Next up, we have 2 from Will. So let's listen to number 1 from Will.
Hey, Empire Radio. Will here. I was just thinking. Sorry. I just got McDonald's. What is your favorite fast food place?
Ooh.
And what is your favorite things to get from there?
Ooh.
You don't want to know what I get from McDonald's. Let me tell you.
Why wouldn't we?
I don't know.
But yeah.
He probably gets like 10 different things and like pigs out. I don't know. That's probably why he doesn't tell.
Probably just goes ham.
I don't think anyone's proud of what they get at McDonald's.
For sure not.
To answer your question, I do like McDonald's. Like
that's your number one.
It's not my number. I don't know. I like them, but like Wendy's is really good.
Ooh, you like the square patties.
But what do you consider fast food? If it's like, because like
that is the question. Like, does it need a drive?
Because like, would Culver's be considered fast food up here?
Yes, I would. Yeah, 100%. Because it has a drive-through and it's pretty quick. So yeah.
But you could still wait like 10 minutes though.
But it's still a drive-through though. I like, because some people even think fast food is in and out. I don't consider that because they don't have like a drive-through window, do they?
But like, you can get Chipotle faster than a burger at Culver's.
But they don't have a drive-through.
But it's faster though. Chipotle is faster than Culver's.
I don't think that's what that means though.
But it's food that you get fast.
Matt, help me out. I need some support. I don't think it counts. If that's the case, Chipotle all the way. Then I'm not even.
I just had Chipotle.
I had Chipotle today.
When was it? Like a week and a half ago.
Dude, you bougie now, huh?
And okay, it's the first time I rarely eat out.
I know, that's what I'm saying.
But like, I go to Chipotle, I get a steak burrito.
Ooh.
And the burrito itself was $10.85.
Oh yeah.
But listen to this. I'd go to work the next day and I'd tell them like, man, this is super expensive, because we were talking about how much are burritos these days. And like, I haven't been in a while, so like that's one reason I went. And it was like, my coworker was like, well, I just went also to Chipotle yesterday, and the steak burritos were only $9.10 or whatever it was.
I had
all these people go to all these other Chipotles in the area, and they're way cheaper than the one that I went to. So the one I went to was the one.
Which one did you go
by
to?
Best Buy, by Maplewood Mall, by Wendy's and stuff like that.
Yeah, I
know.
But
like literally a mile down the road is another Chipotle, and someone went there from work, and it was a $9.10 price.
Why were you all the way over there?
Because I went to Best Buy to look at 4K TVs.
Oh, here we go.
So I was right there. But like, that one Chipotle is more expensive than all the other Chipotles.
I got Chipotle yesterday in my bowl, steak bowl. Oh, I got queso, that's why. But it was $13.
Oh, and also, when did Chipotle start charging for a second tortilla?
Oh, I didn't know that.
That is an outrage. They charge
on the side.
It's 40 cents for my double wrap. I always get my burritos double wrap.
That's probably why. That's
no,
why.
No. The burrito itself was $10.85. 40 cents for a second tortilla, and then how much for a bottle of juice or whatever.
I love that you have it down to
It was $15 for me. I'm like, I was kind of mad, but Chipotle's good. But
it was good though. Was it worth it?
Kind of.
Yeah.
so I like McDonald's, Wendy's, and Chipotle. Culver's is good, but like I
don't know if we can count Chipotle.
I just think it's
Will, you're in the chat, dude. Can we count Chipotle? That's the question. All right, I'm gonna say the major fast food: Wendy's, McDonald's, Burger King.
Burger King? Oh, that Burger King is the worst, dude.
Taco Bell.
Taco Bell is terrible. I know Tanner loves Taco Bell.
I think Taco Bell, the ones that I eat the most is probably Taco Bell and Burger King are the two I eat the most, honestly. If we don't count Chipotle.
Okay, does Noodles and Company count as fast food?
No, it's the same. I view Noodles and Chipotle in the same era. Because it's too fancy.
Too fancy.
now there's other.
Yeah, your bowl of mac and cheese from Noodles and Company. That's fancy.
Dude, that Wisconsin cheese, that's expensive. Now there was this one fast cookout that I had in North Carolina. There's a whole vlog on our YouTube about it. If that counts, Jeremiah, you would love that place because you can get a bunch of food for like dirt cheap, like fries, double burger, like 2 different burgers, and a giant drink for like $8. Because it was mind blowing.
When you lived on the east side, did you ever go to that Pappy's?
Mm-mm.
You know what I'm talking about?
Don't know.
Is it across the street from the gas station? Was it the BEP right there? No, there's a Car X across the street.
Oh yeah. No, I
never
never
eat
went
there.
Mm-mm.
So I ate there once, and it was actually really good. The burgers are big burgers and it's super cheap. Like one of my friends that's from Chicago area says that's the best place in the Twin Cities to go for Chicago style food.
Oh,
I went there once.
Told me this before.
I went there once for a burger, and it was actually a really good burger, and it was super cheap. So,
we should go there again.
But you might get shot in that intersection, so you might not want to go.
That's true. That area is kind of sketch. I don't even like getting gas over there.
But yeah, fast food. I rarely get it. I probably only eat fast food 2, maybe 3 times a year.
Dude, that's good.
It's just too expensive.
I really try not to eat fast food more.
But you do it like once a week.
Well, when I was not eating healthy, I definitely did more than once a week.
But now that you're on that Peloton, whew.
I try to not eat it more than once a month now. But dude, there's something about just getting a bean burrito at Taco Bell for like $1.50. Can't really pass that up. But even now, dude, everything's expensive. Like, there's no dollar menu on McDonald's. Like, that doesn't even exist anymore. Like, the cheapest thing is McChicken, and it's almost $2 now. You know, I remember you could like McChicken, double cheese. Oh my gosh! Or even Burger King, you could get 2 Whoppers for $6 with cheese. Oh my lord! And they're huge.
I just don't understand.
I love Whoppers.
I don't understand Burger King. I don't understand why people like it. I just don't.
That's fair. I actually didn't like it for the longest, but there's something about a Whopper with cheese.
Now, granted, I haven't had it in forever. Maybe it's different now, but
you might have a different palate. Because I remember my brother Jess used to work at Burger King, and I hated it, but he loved it. And then, like in the last 2 years, I just started liking it. I don't like their fries. Their fries are like the worst thing ever. Still, I cannot. But I just like their Whopper with cheese. Nothing else on their menu for me at all. Couldn't pay me to buy anything else on their menu. But there's something about the burger.
Oh, we can't forget Chick-fil-A. You like Chick-fil-A?
Yeah, oh, of course. I also almost does it count as fast food, but I think that does.
Why wouldn't it be fast food?
It's too expensive, dude.
Oh,
One meal
doesn't
is
matter.
$15 minimum.
Okay. I haven't tried Raising Cane's yet,
Racing Cane's is definitely not fast food.
but they opened one across the street from Chick-fil-A in Maplewood, and I haven't gone
There's
there
one
yet.
in West St. Paul too, across the street from that Chick-fil-A, right by Walmart or
That's
the Target and Walmart. Yeah,
That's funny. They just purposely open up across the street from their.
but they're different because they only have strips.
Right. I like chicken strips.
Yeah,
I
It's
got a
okay.
big bag in my freezer right now, dude.
it's okay. It's not my. I like Chick-fil-A because you can get the spicy chicken deluxe burger. That slaps. Their sweet tea is really good. Cane's sweet tea is really good too, though. So, but yeah.
All right. Well, thank you, Will, for that long question.
Long tangent of food.
But that was one of two from you. So let's listen to number 2 from you.
Hey, Empire Radio. Will here. What's a fun thing you did today? Personally, for me, I have had the joys of setting up my new setup.
Ooh.
So I now have 3 monitors.
Ooh, bougie.
And my cool little light bar to provide some light. So now, while I work, I can watch YouTube videos more effectively. And then once I'm off work, get to play video games. Yeah.
Stream?
I don't know, Will, do you have a Twitch?
I know
Is
he's been
he
playing video
streaming?
games, but also, Will, are you trying to like tempt us to invite you on? Is that what you're doing with the light bar and stuff? I don't know. Might be working. We might have to.
Also, why are you watching YouTube videos when you're on the clock working, huh?
Because he has a real job, and you and me
I
are
have
stuck
a
working
real
hard.
job. I work.
Yeah, we work hard.
He doesn't.
Well, he probably works hard in his chair on YouTube too, though. You know what I mean? Like, yeah.
Yep.
I was thinking that today, actually, Jeremiah. Might be weird, but I was thinking about you today at work, and I was like, Jeremiah definitely needs to find a computer job.
No, I can't do that at all.
Really?
No, I can't, dude.
I just feel like for your back's sake.
No, sitting in this chair makes my back worse.
Really?
Because for a long time, I just had my computer set up here at my kitchen table, and I was just sitting here every day.
That's what made it worse.
And then this is like months ago, and I was like, maybe I should go back to sitting on my couch with my laptop with my my table mate that slides underneath, and it's like my desk, like right on my couch. I'm gonna go back to doing that. So I went back doing that, and it helped my back a lot. But then now for the past like 6 weeks, my back is the worst it's ever been. And
you like thinking to go see a chiropractor?
And I have gone to a chiropractor, and I'm gonna go to physical therapy in a couple weeks here. I gotta start. My chiropractor said I need to start working out, and I am not excited for that at all. I don't want to.
I won't push the button for your sake.
I've been doing like at home stuff to like do back
stretching and stuff
for like strengthening my back, and it seems like to help it a little bit, but I really don't want.
You have a nice gym at your place, though.
It's all right. It's a little small thing, but I don't know how to work. So I think I'm
nice
gonna probably.
You can do laps.
I don't know how to swim.
Okay.
So so there's the Planet Fitness in Sunray over here. I was thinking, okay, go there for like at least get a month membership. Talk to the personal trainer. Show me like what's the best things to do for my back. Cancel it, and then go to my apartment's
and just
gym,
do the same stuff.
Do the same stuff there for free. But
that's fair.
I don't know. I just want to remember back in the 90s, there was those commercials for like you put those things on your abs and it, like
they twitch
it and like shock it and like give you a six pack. Maybe I could just get a bunch of those and put them on my back and just like.
I don't think that's. I don't think it worked back then. I don't think it works.
Get a ripped back like people who only do upper body workout and they have skinny legs. Like I only do my back, so I have like a ripped back. But like everything else is just tiny. I can do that.
Yeah, like
what was Will's question?
I
Did we
don't
do anything
know.
fun today?
Oh yeah, today.
No, Will.
Definitely not today. Besides this.
Well, other than the stream now, but I woke up, went to work, came here. Did you go to the fair?
I went yesterday to the fair. That was
How was
fun.
it?
But now
How
I'm
was that?
sunburned. And I have a cool shirt though.
What'd you eat at the fair?
Uh
Is that fast food?
Does that count? That's fast. It's pretty
So,
fast.
so if you don't know, the Minnesota State Fair is one of the biggest, most nationally known state fairs in the country, and it's always a big deal.
What, number 2 or number 3 or something like
Oh, I think it's number 2 for like population, like attendance. Like Texas is technically bigger by a little bit, but we're still like bigger, like for something else. I don't know, but so if you're ever in Minnesota, like from Labor Day or the 10 days earlier, like we have like one of the best
people
fairs.
come around the world for this fair. So
yeah, so
but yeah, I had cookies, obviously.
How much is the bucket now?
$20.
$20, huh? You get a ton of cookies.
It hasn't.
That's like probably the best. That's probably the best value out there.
Dude, what was cool too is that like I'm not flexing, chat, or any. I'm not flexing, but I only had 100 on me. So when I went to buy it, the guy
That's
didn't
all
have,
you
like,
brought?
That's all. No, that's all I had at this moment. So I didn't have like smaller bills, and they were like super busy, and the guy didn't have any smaller bills in his drawer, so he had to find some. But because of that, the cookie tray that was in front of me was cold, finger quotes. So when he came back, he's like, "Oh, these are cold," and he just literally tosses it on the ground because they're bad. And then I got a hot tray, and then I was like, dude, you could have just gave me those too. Like, just give me a free bucket then.
How does he not have change for $100 bill?
I don't know.
If it's $20, there should be filled with $20 bills.
I'm telling you,
people don't pay with cash.
No, they do. That's why I don't. I think he just ran out and he had to go find it to someone else. Do you know they make $2 million a day?
Yeah.
And that's what I'm saying. How do you not have $1 million?
Sweet Martha's cookie is the biggest thing out there. They do millions and millions of dollars of sales in 10 days.
So obviously I had cookies, and I still have a half a bucket. I had some today too. Not as good as when they're fresh hot, but they're still good. Corn on the cob, obviously. Trying to think what else I had. I had a lot of cheese curds from the mouse. That's pretty.
Are you going to go back again, or
I was thinking about we might go back on Friday night.
Well, you should get something that my work makes, because we supply a bunch of stands out there.
What?
Well, you should get the Gizmo. Find the Gizmo stand. I don't know exactly where it is, but that in like 2018 or something won best food item at the fair, and it was on like Good Morning America or something like that.
Oh wow!
So that's our biggest account out there that we make, but it's like an Italian sloppy Joe type of thing.
Oh, that's cool.
It's really good. It's like $12 though, but it's.
I mean, everything at the fair is.
But it's really good. But then, like, if you get like spaghetti on a stick,
yeah,
we make. Did you eat that?
I ate that last time I went.
We make those meatballs.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Those are really good. So it's like
it was pretty good.
I
had
of other things too.
I had a Prompto pup. I mean, everyone.
Do they still have the lemonade stands where it's like you get free refills?
Dude. They're not free refills anymore.
Oh, they're not?
No, but I definitely had lemonade too. That was pretty good. I actually had 2 things of lemonade. That was good with the full lemon inside. Yeah, that was pretty good. Remember when they used to have the milk for $0.25?
No, I don't.
You don't remember that? You could get a refill milk, and you would go get their bucket of cookies, and you go to the milk stand and get paid $0.25 for a cup of milk, and you can keep refilling it all day. Yeah, they don't do that anymore. I don't even know if they serve milk anymore. I couldn't find the milk stand at all. But
I don't
know. It was fun. It was Miles's first time at the fair.
Yeah, he's definitely going to remember that.
I know. I mean, the photos will. He loved the bus because he didn't have to wear a seatbelt, and he got to climb all over us as the bus was driving. So yeah, he had fun. Yeah, but now I'm sunburned and it's annoying.
R.I.P. skin.
Yeah.
All right. thanks, Will, for those questions. Now we have 2 left. So let's listen to this one from Retta.
Hey, Empire Radio, this is Retta, and I just had a quick question for you guys. If you could portray any character in Star Wars, whether it be like live action or as voicing an animated character, which character would it be? So this could be either one that we've already seen on screen, like to recast yourself as them, or to do for a future project. Mine would probably be Sabine because she's my favorite. I'm really hoping we get to see her in Mando Season 3. So yeah, just wondering who you guys would want to portray, and would it be live action or like voicing an animated character? Thanks.
For sure see her in Ahsoka.
So if it's live action,
Yeah.
I think I could pull off Kanan Jarrus.
I don't think I can pull off anyone, but I think, yeah, that would work.
I could do Kanan Jarrus. I'm tall and skinny. I can grow the beard, as you can see. I'll just have to grow the man bun. I used to have long hair down to my shoulders, so I could grow that out again, have a man bun.
You don't have. There's nothing about your hair that says you're losing it right now. So I think you'd be fine. You could grow hair.
It's turning gray though. There's
my
beard. Every time I shave my beard or trim my beard, I find more gray hairs. I get tons of gray hairs on my temple area.
But you still have hair. You're complaining about nothing to me right now. Just dye your hair. That's not hard.
Okay, smooth.
Yeah.
But I think I pull off Kanan.
Yeah,
I don't know any other characters like generic Jedi in the background swinging a lightsaber. Like anyone could do that.
I would want to do. Thrawn would be a cool character. I don't think I could pull it off, but I would want to do it. Or honestly, probably just like this one. I feel like I could actually do would be just Din Djarin. Because he doesn't even do it half the time.
You wish you could pull off Din Djarin.
I would figure it out.
You could pull off. You could pull off the Mithril, the blue guy.
I could figure it out. I could do that, or like any like Death Watch or any Mandalorian. I feel like I could do the heavy Mandalorian.
No, you could pull off. So I'm in the second Thrawn book in the Ascendancy trilogy, and we're introduced for a farmer. He's like super redneck. That's
Isn't that the guy that it's like his counterpart later?
No.
No,
it's the guy on the farm.
Oh yeah, I don't remember that book, dude.
No. Well, you'll get there because you're rereading, right? Did you start?
I did start the first
Chaos Rising again. All right.
Yep. You like the first one?
Well, tune in January and then you'll find out.
Well, unless we're covering Bad Batch.
Yep. All right.
You still got more?
We got one more. So that was from Retta. But speaking of Retta, this is the special one I kept for last.
Oh.
We have a voicemail from Retta's dad tonight. So
for real?
Yeah. So Retta always tells stories about her interacting with her family in the Discord and all that stuff. And I always think her dad is, when she talks about her dad, it's super funny. Like, you gotta get your dad to send in a voicemail. I keep telling her to do it. And so he finally.
So her dad, are their dads in the Discord?
No. When Retta talks about her family in the Discord, like funny stories about her family, her dad always comes up. And I think her dad is just funny. And so I always told Retta to have her dad send a voicemail, and he finally did. And this might be top 5 voicemails.
I thought you were going to say inappropriate. Like, wait. What?
Well, that's the thing I'm going to say. We're family friendly.
Oh, okay.
This is right on the edge.
This is pushing it, huh?
This is pushing it, but I'm going to allow it because it's really good. It's a short one. It's only like 20 seconds. But here, to finish off voicemails tonight, is a voicemail from Retta's father.
Hello, Empire Radio. I'm Retta's dad. Good joke for you. I guess it's kind of a dad joke. You know how to catch a polar bear? Cut a hole in the ice, and then you place peas around that hole. And when the polar bear comes to take a pee, you kick him in the ice hole. That's all. Bye.
That's a good one. I
That
like it.
is-
That was a good
Here's the
one.
thing. That was like perfect,
gosh.
flawless execution and telling a dad
A
joke.
dad joke. Yeah, I should talk to him. I feel
Like
like
that.
I need to take notes.
Like, I don't know, just like the way he just told the joke with ease. Like, you got people that send in voicemails and with dad jokes, and they're great, but they're not dads telling these jokes. It's just different.
No, it felt like a dad.
Like, I think Greta's like in her mid-20s or something like that, and so that means her dad has some years being a dad. He has practice. I really hope he wears those white New Balance shoes.
Oh,
like,
definitely does.
Like, but that joke was, it was just very confident, very like, I'm a dad. There's my dad joke, and I thought it was super funny. I laughed so hard last night.
No, that was a good one.
I'm
liked it
tearing
a
up
lot.
now. So, Retta, if your dad ever wants to send in another voicemail, he's more than welcome. But just let him know that was at the edge of family friendly.
Yeah, Lucy in the chat said, "Well then." So, apologize.
Okay. But yes, that's
it
all
was
the
good.
voicemails tonight. Thank you, Retta's dad. You seem like a great father to Retta, and we appreciate her too. So good job being a dad.
Send more.
Send more.
If you're listening to this.
Retta's mom, if you're listening, send in a voicemail. I know she's starting to watch the movies for the first time, Star Wars movies.
Ooh.
So maybe we get some little mini reviews from Retta's mom.
Yeah, apparently the chat, Yellowstone in the chat said, "Yeah, Drew, be more active in the Discord and you'll know." So I don't know. Apparently, Retta's whole family is.
No, Retta just talks about her family in the Discord. That's it. No one else is in the Discord.
Okay. Well, now I know what I need to know, so I'm good.
Yes.
I'm
all right. Cool. All right. That's all the voicemails for tonight. That's Light and Magic, Gang of Outsiders. So we'll just talk about socials and we'll get out of here for tonight. So, like I said earlier in this episode, there's in the description of whatever you're listening to right now in the podcast or on YouTube, there's a link. links.co/Empire Radio, links with 2 I's. That's a landing page for everything for Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, Discord invite, our fan email, and which I mentioned earlier. There's the VCU illustration project Google Doc. Go click on that for submissions for that. And I think there's also I think we always forget to say this, but there's actually a clickable link to send a voicemail too. So send in a voicemail too if you haven't sent one in. International fans, we love hearing accents, so send in something. Or if you've never sent in a voicemail, even if you're from here in Minnesota and we're used to your accent, send in a voicemail if you're new. Even if it's just say, "Hey, what's up? Thanks for the show." Like, we'll play it. We like to hear from you guys. So, yeah. So follow us on socials. Join the Discord. That's about it. Anything else, Jude, you want to talk about tonight?
Nope. That's it.
He's falling asleep over there?
No, I'm sorry. I had to do something quick. Nope. Like I said, like Jeremiah said, just go follow us on all of our other socials. Go check out YouTube. Like we always say, there's other stuff on there for sure. And Jeremiah puts in a lot of work into video versions of these. And you can go support us over there and make sure you subscribe and give us a thumbs up on these videos.
All right,
Jeremiah
cool.
will appreciate it.
Yeah. And like I said, we'll keep you guys updated in the Discord about our schedule for the next week, Labor Day week, with just what we're going to do and when, because we will not be recording on Tuesday, the day after Labor Day, just because of the holiday, and we're waiting for Thursday's big announcements and stuff. So we'll let you know when we do that, but that's about it for tonight. That's it, Drew?
Yep, that's it.
All right, cool. So you have been listening to another Wizard episode of Empire Radio. I'm Jeremiah.
I'm Drew.
And may the Force be with you.
Always.